Bande Mataram. So this morning we are going to discuss a very great topic, that is from Sri Aurobindo Savitri. None understands eternity's word. So this is a great topic we are going to discuss now in this glorious morning, and the caption will be "None understands eternity's word." This is, of course, the point of illusion we are going to discuss. This is actually puzzle. It is applicable to the mind that is actually semi-saturated. It is half-veiled, ignorant to a maximum extent. So we are going to discuss of this word in the light of Sri Aurobindo Savitri. That is a great topic, of course, we are going to discuss. Many times, of course, we feel what we know is correct, what we see is the full, where we live, that is the almost saturated. We know everything. That concept is there because it is a mental concept, and we are living our lives with this concept not from the age immemorial, from time, from the beginning itself. So this is a almost jammed concept. It is jamming our roads where we are when we are proceeding in front. But Sri Aurobindo clearly clarified in his glorious writings. Of course, it is a glorious explanation by Sri Aurobindo. What Sri Aurobindo quotes, of course, he starts from the illusion, the method of illusion Sri Aurobindo quotes here. So, whatever we see, the great illusion wraps him in its veils. Illusion, that Maya, the skilled power finitizing the infinity. This illusion, this Maya, Sri Aurobindo starts the Sri Aurobindo starts the paragraph with like this: the great illusion wraps him in its veils. Illusion has its veils. So this not only the ordinary illusion, that is starts from capital I, and before then one term that we have used, adjective, great illusion wraps him in its veils. Wraps him in its veils. Second, the soul's deep intimations come in veins. When this illusion has a great illusion, of course, has wraps him in its veils. The soul's deep intimations come in vain. Some intimations come from the soul, but these comings, this is actually totally so far designed and so far defined by Sri Aurobindo. It is, of course, intimations are coming, but it is in vain. Again, in vain is the unending line of seers. The line of seers, very accuracy, with much accuracy, Sri Aurobindo quotes. In vain is the unending line of seers. Line of seers that is unending, but that is also vain. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes, the sages ponder in unsubstantial light. After the line of seers, Sri Aurobindo again quotes, the sages ponder in unsubstantial light. They ponder over, confused. They ponder here and there. Just imagine what is their real position. The sages ponder in unsubstantial light, light but unsubstantial light, and they ponder over. Again, after the sages, seers, sages, then comes the poets. The poets lend their voice to outward dreams. Most of the time, they keep visualizing the concept, but thing is what they visualize, that is the external things. They lend their thoughts. Many things are there, everything is there inside them. They are not able to go deep inside because they don't have the idea, probably. They don't have that courage that we must go deep within, we must plunge deep within to get the ideas. but they lend their voice. Prophets, poets, they have their poets, but they lend their voice to outward dreams, not the reality, to the dreams and outward dreams. Just imagine how precarious is the scenario. Eventually, homeless. What happens? A homeless fire inspires the prophet tongues. Initially, it was line of seers. Then, of course, came the sages, and again the poets. Now, the prophet tongues. It homeless fire inspire the prophet tongues. Prophet has got tongues. It calculates. It speaks up. But inspired by a homeless fire, fire that has no home to live on, to focus upon, to enlighten on. Homeless fire inspires the prophet tongues. Then what happens? Heaven's flaming lights descend and back return. Light comes from heaven. How it is coming? Flaming lights. Not ordinary lights. Heaven's flaming lights. Lights are coming. They are flaming lights, and those are from heaven. Descend and back return. The luminous eyes approaches and retires. Again, same thing. It is coming, and of course, it is returning without working properly, without enlightening, without actually activating. The luminous eye approaches. I is a capital a capital letter. The luminous eye approaches and retires. Retires. Eternity speaks every time. Initially, heaven's flaming lights descend and back again. Just imagine how is the scenario. Who can save it? And second, the luminous eye approaches. It is approaching and retires because this is not the proper ground. It is not properly base is not properly prepared. Eternity speaks, none understands its word. It speaks, it spoken by eternity, but understandable. None, it is incredible. Nobody can understand it. Fate is unwilling and the abyss denies. Again, the problem comes. Fate is unwilling. What is fate? Thy goal. The road thou choosest is thy fate. With the fate we are going, he can, of course, during the course, he can accept his fate, he can refuse, but the dilemma is that, the problem is that fate is unwilling and the abyss denies. Abyss also, fate and abyss both start with capital letters. So fate is unwilling, not at all willing, and at the same time, the abyss denies. The inconscient, mindless waters block all done. What is done, it is blocked by the inconscient. Not only by the inconscient only. Internet is mindless waters, block mindless waters, but mindless waters block all done. So what happens? Everything is actually in a puzzling condition, great illusion. Then what happens? Soul's deep intimations come and in vain. In vain is the unending line of seers. Then sages ponder in unsubstantial light. The poets lend their voice to outward dreams. Actually, who are the foreigners, overseers, who are at the front runners? Actually, their situation is like this. From then something comes from the top, but actually problem is that it is not very much inspiring. A homeless fire inspires the prophet tongues. Heaven's flaming lights descend and back return. The luminous eye approaches and retires. Eternity speaks, none understands its words. This is the real scenario. We are staying in an unhelped, abandoned, overwhelmed, stumbling globe where there is some whoever are foreigners, they are all everything in vain for them. Things are coming to help, but the earth is not ready properly. The inconscient, mindless water block all done. Only is lifted, little lifted is mind screen. There is a big screen. Screen after screen we have already seen. We have seen. Not only one layer, layer after layer, we have seen some screens. Only a little lifted is mind screen, capital M. That mind, higher mind. The mind screen is only little lifted. Then when the little is lifted, then what is actually with this little lifting? Some people claim, some people see, some people thought, some people prophesize. Some people actually they have got the of course their stamina, of course their power to see, visualize. They have, but what is in them? What is the real position for them here in the course? The wise who know see. Wise is a relative terms. Sri Aurobindo quotes, why is the on the highest and widest thing is the widest. So why is it a relative term? Anyway, it is the capital W. Who know? It is possible for them to know. Who know? See, they know. They can also be able to visualize. They can see, but only one half of truth. Original truth. Will they see a partial portion of the original truth, half of the truth, like the four blinds they are seeing, visualizing and concluding on a standing elephant. So just imagine like this, we are going to sell the mirror in a country where all are blinds. So we are going to express our prophecy who are actually deaf, dumb. We are going to express our share our thoughts who are ignorant. So in this scenario, what happens? The wise who know see but only half of truth. The originality, the right truth, the real truth is hidden from their side. The strong, after the wise comes the strong, climb hardly to a low peaked height. They climb, they feel with respect to us, this is the relativity, with respect to us people have climbed up to Kanchenjunga Himalayas or something, they have climbed, but on the reaching on the top of Himalayas and the Everest, they find it is nothing, simply some few steps we have climbed. Still the sky is the same at the same distance, which was actually remarked from the point of my starting from the ground itself. The strong climb hardly to a low peaked height. The hearts that are given 1 hour to love. Hearts that yarn after this love, of course. They feel we love, we do, we claim, we have given, we are dedicated, we are in the position of the divine. Our love is divine love or something. They claim like anything because to their eyes it is almost the fulfillment. So the hearts that yearn are given 1 hour to love. Just imagine 24 hours constitute a day. 1 hour to love. I don't know. It is how many days, how many years, how many months we are staying in the current life scenario. But thing is there, the hearts that yearn, not yearned, they are not giving anything. They are not least bothered. The hearts that yearn are given 1 hour to love. His tale half told falters the secret word. His tale half told, then what happens? Falters the secret word. So this is the scenario. Faltering is there. Only this half, only a little told is the story. Then Sri Aurobindo quotes about the gods, goddess whom we are praying and whom we are pursuing, we are following. Sri Aurobindo quotes the gods are still too few in mortal forms. Many forms, many gods, many gurus we of course find and worship, but thing is that gods are too few in mortal forms. Then what happens actually? The earth you tread is a border screened from heaven. This is the true scenario Sri Aurobindo tries to explain and see, indicates this is the world, this is the life you tread here. But you claim that we are here, kings. And this is the real situation Sri Aurobindo actually explains. The earth you tread is a border screened from heaven. Border is there, screened from heaven. Heaven is somewhere, but earth we are treading. The life you lead conceals the light you are, the real light you are, but actually the life you lead, actually it conceals the light you are. The real light which constitutes you is actually veiled. It is concealed by the life you are leading right now. Immortal powers sweep flaming past your doors. Immortal powers they come, sweep flaming past your doors. Far up upon your tops the gods and sound. There is the chantings, God chants are there, but actually far upon your tops, the God of the tops, far up, you can imagine. While to exceed yourselves thoughts, trumpet call, there is a call, heard by a few darer escape. So still few, like poets, everybody suggests substantial, few. Thank you.